Hi, then welcome to the Call to Cinema. My name is Aaron, and today we are looking at and talking about the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. I'm going to do a little rant on here as well. So, for those that miss the rant days of me, you'll get some of that here too. So, there's going to be some fun stuff. I I'm kind of excited to do this one today and to talk about the new releases coming out. Talk about some films that I watched recently, and a film that I'm going to be reviewing in the near future. Actually, in the uh, in the second week of October, which is so far my busiest week of the month for October. There's a ton of stuff coming on that I'm going to be in. Again, I'm going to be on an episode of Reconnected next week with with Ryan, so I'm going to be guesting on there, as well as doing a hey there, Swift, welcome, man. I'll be filming a podcast. I'm just super stoked to strange art. There's some cool stuff coming out. There's some cool stuff coming out that I kind of want to talk about. One thing I have to say, in the last little while, I've been lucky enough to have had a few companies reach out and uh, and send me some really intriguing stuff to watch. So if you haven't checked it out yet, check it out, Swift. I got to uh, I got to watch and review Things Will Be Different, which is a science fiction thriller, which is perfect for this time of year. Which very has a very kind of Twilight Zone aspect to it, and a very different film, and a documentary called Dusty and Stones, which I didn't know I was going to like as much as I did. The film's freaking amazing. Um, so if you haven't checked out those reviews, and I'm a little sad that especially Dusty and Stone, because it's such a good film, didn't get as wide like viewing as say some of the other stuff that I do. I know it's like Halloween time, but we're at a point now where we're really trying to hopefully like open the market up to independent and new filmmakers and voices and stuff like that. And sometimes I feel like we say it but we don't do it. So I've been trying to do it a bit more. My next upcoming review is for a film called Falling Stars. And if you haven't seen it, the trailer is baller. That's why, like, I get sent stuff, and sometimes I just say no. But this one here just kind of really intrigued me because it's set like in a kind of in a different universe, and there's like where witches are real, and there's these brothers that decide that they're going to like capture this witch. Falling Stars looks incredible, and hopefully it'll live up to the trailer. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, so I'll be doing that. I got to check the embargo date for it, but whenever the embargo date's over, I'll be able to review it. I usually watch a movie around 2 or 3 times before I do the review, so just a little bit of stuff behind the scenes. But with that being said, let's look at the stuff that's coming out. I did like reach out to a couple people, on Facebook and stuff like that. Nobody responded, so looks like it may be. It's probably just me today. Uh, but hey, if you're there and you're interested, let me know. If you wanna join me, let me know. So here we are looking at the new titles. Now they have a thing going on this month. It's yet another sale, and I don't have a problem with that. I actually think that's pretty good. But some people do have a problem with the fact that they're having so many sales right now. Now this one here has Flesh and Fantasy today. It's a 50% off, and you get 4 times VSMC points. That one will be over soon, and there'll be another one coming up taking that spot. I'm not quite sure what time today they switch these out, but there's some interesting titles, and there's some titles that I think are hyped, and there's some titles I think that are overhyped. And I figure the best place for us to start is let's start with the box set, the one that I'm most interested in. Um, we'll come back to these VSAs afterwards. Well, let's look at Forgotten Jelly Volume 7. It's hard to believe that we've actually gotten up to 7 volumes on Forgotten Jelly. A lot of sets like this, normally they'll run out after 3 or 4. So, some will get like a max of 5. So to see this get to Volume 7 is actually pretty friggin' amazing. If you are a patron or a member, I want to thank you so much because if you've been noticing a lot of my like my reviews and stuff that I've done lately, there are no ads on those because basically, I am my own sponsor, as as Dr. Whitfield would say. Talking about my sponsor, me. But we have like 3 films in this one as usual. Let's look and see what we got. We got Mystery. Um, Looks like it was directed by Carlo Vancini. I really don't know if I've seen this one or not. Carlo Bouquet, isn't it? Nice. Okay, from yours only. John Steiner. I love John Steiner. So anything he's in, man, I'm just down with. Gabrielle Tinte. Um, I don't know if I've seen this one. 1983. I don't know how I couldn't have, but anybody remember this one? Because I'm sure if I look at the trailer, I'll probably remember something. But right now, I don't. Um, but It's got a ton of features on here as well. We got a commentary track here. We got some interviews as well. Oh man. Followed up with Obsession and Taste for Fear. I'm pretty sure I've seen this one. Um, Australian model Virginia Hay. Yeah, I know I've seen this one. Cameo appearance by musician Kid Creole. Uh, this one at all though. Why don't I remember this movie? I know I've seen it. Again, we got some nice features, commentary track, got some nice interviews in there as well. We got a video essay with Rachel Nesbitt. Always look forward to those. I'm a massive fan of video essays. Hey, Barrow, thank you, man, for coming in. I really appreciate it. And I always got to say thanks for commenting on so many of the videos. It really, really means a lot when I get those comments there. Engagement is super important on YouTube, and finding out this stuff is just so cool. Sweets from a Stranger is here as well. And again, this really is hitting upon the Forgotten Jelly title. And I know from speaking to Malcolm not to look through the pictures because there tis a bit of nudity in some of those pictures, which baffles me that they put on there because, in all honesty, 90% of the promotion that comes from these companies is going to be coming from YouTube. And if they like put things in there, that's going to stop like people from being able to like show their titles. It that baffles me. It's I'm sorry, I'm in I was trained in public relations, so those things always kind of like hit me as unusual, as different takes. That's for certain. Next up, we have the Ghost Dance, and this one I have seen. So it looks like limited for 1,000 for the slip. And if I remember, this one was okay. I don't overtly remember a lot about this film, to be bluntly honest with you. It wasn't one that stood out to me, so I'm not gonna like pretend and say, "Oh yeah, this is one that I remember extremely well." It'd be nice. This is one that I would be interested in going back and checking out again, though, because I don't have any memories of it, and I love that type of film. In a way that often, well, hopefully, I don't have memories of it because I've just seen so many. But sometimes I don't have memories of something because it wasn't very good. But I can't tell you in this case which one it is because I don't know yet. That being said, I think we got Corpse Mania. It's probably another Cat 3 film. And okay. The fact that it says it fuses it with the style of Giallo leaves me a bit more interested than I would for a normal Category 3 film. The Sam Deegan commentary as well. That's something that I find interesting. Uh, I don't normally go for a lot of the Category 3 style films. They just really don't appeal to me as much. But it depends. It depends on the type of film. No, that's not true. Like there's certain ones that I think are just same with like when I think of films doing something just to do it and not to have a personality or voice. But this one looks interesting. So Corpse Mania. I'm sure Malcolm would know a lot more about this one than I would. Now let's get to the the tenant. Um, I saw on Facebook that ragged on Roger Ebert for not liking the Tenant and saying how dare Roger Ebert? He's not a he's not a good writer. He's not a good critic. Roger Ebert was an amazing writer, an incredible critic, um, and he often had opinions that I did not agree with. But that did not change the talent of the man. So I really find it uh, slightly disrespectful when stuff like that comes out because you're basing it on like what I sometimes think is a wrong reasoning for all of this. Look at this, the picture's not coming up for me. Let's hope I'm not having like internet issues again because that does happen sometimes. Now, this is there we go. Interesting cast on this one here. Really good cast. It's a Polanski film, and that's going to divide people just for, the controversy around Roman Polanski. But I'm going to leave that out of it. I don't think he's a good guy. But I'm not talking about the Tenant on the fact that Polanski is a good guy or not a good guy. I'm talking about the Tenant on the fact that I remember this one a bit. And so this came out in 1976. I wasn't old enough to go to the theater to watch this one, of course. Hey, I said hi. I didn't say multiple people. I said I reached out to people. Those people are you. Go to your Facebook Messenger, Malcolm. See the 3-word message. And then ask yourself why you're not here. Because, yeah, that was my invitation. If you want to come in, I can throw you a link. And we can rant a bit about some stuff, too. So I am going to. We are going to, like, right now, we're going to, like, throw a link to Malcolm and see if he actually takes it. See if he comes in. It's weird. Hey, so you like Beetlejuice, right? But the Tenet was not. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't a great film. It's okay. I think it's gotten a reevaluation over the years. But I remember talking to my dad and among other people that were around the time that this movie came out, and I'm not gonna lie. People walked out of the theater. I'm gonna be honest with you. People were bored. I think this might be one of the films that my dad like rented too, actually, to bring up when there was a group of them to watch movies, and they just ran out about it. Hey, Nubis, welcome, man. I like you restream a lot, actually. I'm finding it really good. By the way, I'd like to have you on sometime soon. It's been a while, and I may be talking about one of your favorite topics in the near future, which is werewolves. But I might be talking Spanish. You're in the lobby. How can I not see you? Oh, there we go. That's the only thing. Sometimes I can't see people until they let me know. Let's bring Malcolm in here right now, and let's chat for a minute. So we're gonna go from here for a second.
Whoa!
Hey there! Whoa!
No, man. See my big eyes there? Hang on. Let's see.
It's been a while, my friend.
It has. Where you been?
I have been busy as hell doing movie reviews, which I kind of want to talk about. So, I just reviewed today, like Dusty and Stones, and for films like it was a documentary, and it was one of those movies that I'll be honest with you, Malcolm. If somebody hadn't reached out to me and said, "Okay, look at this," it may be a movie that I never would have seen. And it's a shame because right now there's this push, especially in our community, this saying like, "Oh, nobody's going to watch indie films. Nobody's going to watch the smaller films anymore. Everybody's just watching Marvel and remakes and stuff like that."
Yeah, that's what Heath was saying, wasn't it? with the
Yeah, and then
cinema.
people go and say, "Well, let's look at this Francis Ford Coppola film. Look what an indie film this is." I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Francis Ford Coppola. I don't care if he put all his money into it. That's not an indie film.
Oh, it isn't.
These are smaller films, and unfortunately, I don't see enough people talking about them. Things will be different. It's kind of a sci-fi thriller, one of those time loop type of things, like a Triangle or a Time Crimes, and that's not getting a lot of notice.
No.
Rising Stars. I actually got the notice today. Malcolm, that I'm going to be able to review Rising Stars.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
That is going to be a
Big one.
really interesting to check out. But it just frustrates me that we hear so much about people saying, well, I want to see this, but when this stuff comes out, like
they can't be bothered.
Exactly. Like if you go and you look at my view count, for instance, on something like maybe this video per Dusty and Stones, it's gonna be massively different.
Yeah.
So I have to reach out to it in other like forums. I'll go to to TikTok because I know it'll get more traction there.
Yeah.
So guys, just check out some of the smaller films as well.
Yeah.
I know that's a different film for this time of month, so that could have affected it too, because it's not a scary film, but Things Will Be Different is. So that is
but not everything can be a horror film, can it? Let's be honest.
Exactly, and it's interesting to see that come out there. Oh, I have to tell you, my mom has in her hands, and I got to see a bit of it, Caligula Ultimate Cut.
Oh.
So now, things to know. The Canadian edition of Caligula was done by Drafthouse Films and in coordination with Unobstructed View, which is kind of the Diabolique DVD of Canada. There's a massively big umbrella edition of the film with books.
Yeah, no, I've got that one coming.
Like versions of the film. Well, the Canadian edition includes just like the one I got. They didn't send me the 4K. I wish, but they sent me the Blu-ray.
No, those cheapskates.
I'm actually have to buy the 4K because I want the soundtrack, or I may just buy the soundtrack on, so I'm not sure. But here's the thing. So it comes with 2 cuts of the film. It says with the theatrical cut on the second disc. Now there is a theatrical cut, but it's a theatrical cut that you'd be more familiar with, I'd say, than a lot of North American people.
Okay.
Because Caligula was released theatrically twice. Well, many times, but theatrically twice initially. In North America at 156-minute cut.
Because it was a European cut, wasn't there?
Exactly. And it was like, there was like hardcore inserts and stuff put in there because Bob.
That's the best version.
It's not like
it is. I like seeing a little. I like the explosiveness happening.
But here's the thing: you still see like lots. There's no matter what cut of Caligula you see, you can't get away from the nudity, and like massive amounts of it. But here's the thing: the UK edition of it, when it went to theaters in the UK, tamed down those hardcore scenes. There was no hardcore inserts. It runs at 150 minutes. That's the cut that's on the second disc. Not the 156.
I personally think every movie should have hardcore scenes in it somewhere.
Yeah, like Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. Yeah, there's
or Cinderella, as we know.
But here's the thing: there's an exclusive feature on the Canadian edition that's not in the Umbrella edition.
Is it you talking? Because I can skip that.
You would not skip that because that would be amazingly interesting. But did you know that though? Like I was unaware.
No, I didn't know that, but I would think every place surely would have one thing different. Surely, because otherwise it would make it kind of pointless, wouldn't it?
This is for me, it's a major feature. For other people, it won't be, but for me, it will be.
What was it? What's the exclusive thing?
It's the commentary with Grant Morrison.
Oh, okay.
So I'm a massive comic fan. I'm a huge Grant Morrison fan, as you know. And the fact that like Thomas Nevigan and Grant Morrison are talking about Caligula and
kind of weird, isn't it? But cool at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, like here, it's something that you would expect, like they went on all the editions because I
can tell you, Grant Morrison was highly influenced by Caligula when he did the Batman and Robin series.
He loved. I'm not sure how much he loved Caligula, but here's the thing: he's a massive fan, like me, of Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah.
And have a great day, Barrow. Have a fantastic day. I just got to see the message.
Oh, take care.
But he really was into like the Lindsay Anderson films, like If, and like Oh Lucky Man, which both me and you are fans of.
Yeah.
So it's really
part of the same trilogy, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is. That's kind of the cool part about. Well, Caligula's not part of it, but like
No, but I mean, No Lucky Man and If.
Being like the third part, like
that'd be amazing, though,
yeah,
wouldn't it?
you've seen the Lucky Man. See Caligula, the not so lucky man. It would be incredible. I got to put a picture up here on the Tenet part. What do you think of the Tenet, by the way?
What, the film or the actual box?
The box is okay for what it is.
Because I've not really seen the film in years. I'm a little bit excited to watch it, but at the same time, from what I remember of it, it's kind of slow. Because I was trying to remember it the other day. When I did the video the other day, I was like, no, I don't think I've seen this, but I have. Because it's Roman Polanski. You know?
My dad did watch it. Like, he was at... My dad saw these movies in theater. Like,
your dad saw all these movies in the cinema, didn't they? I mean, I'm still jealous that he saw the Hammer Horrors in the cinema.
I'm so jealous of that. I'm jealous in the way that, like, I would love to have seen those movies in theater, but in other ways, I'm like, okay, the way that I am, I probably wouldn't be around right now, because if I had.
You mean you would have been caught doing a fiddling and that in there to all these hot women?
I'm not one of those guys that I think would have been like. Part of me is like, okay, I would have loved being in that like hippie free love era for the obvious reasons. But another part of me is like, I don't know, man. I think I was born in the exact right like generation from the Gen X.
I told you, didn't I? I told you so about my granddad, didn't I? Many years ago, when my mum was a little girl in the 60s, because she was born in 1962, he was walking down the road with her when she was a kid, and these people went by him and went, "Peace, dude," and he stuck the hand up the other way and went, "Yeah, piss off."
Okay.
He didn't like that time at all.
Yeah, Indy loves it, actually.
So hey, Indy, how you doing?
There's a film out there for everyone, man. That's why people, like, why don't you complain so much when it comes to certain, just because if it's not for me, it's going to be for someone else. The Forgotten Jolly one, I got to say, Malcolm, this is honestly in order to me anyway, maybe not to you, but the closest to becoming its name again. Like, these really look to me like actual Forgotten Jelly.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with this set. I was like, what's going to be in the set? Because I've seen so many jellies. I've seen so many pirated. I've seen so many over the years before they even came out on Blu-ray. We're talking about like 12, 15 years ago. And I'm guaranteed I must have seen one of these under a different title because of the images. But I'm so excited it's not one that I hear of regularly.
That's the thing. I mean, like, I feel like I must have seen some of these, but I don't remember any of them, just from the descriptions, right?
Yeah,
and I think that's fantastic to see stuff.
Did you avoid the nudity bit?
I did, thanks to you, actually. Let's look at the cinematography.
William Castle.
I have this from Olive Films. I don't know if I need it in 4K. I'm going to check the features, but I do love this film. It's a weird film, guys. It's definitely not your average film. Have you seen Shanks before?
Yeah, it's the sequel to Lamb. No, I haven't seen it. I've seen I've seen a lot of his other films, but I've not seen Shanks.
Yeah, like it's Marcel. Probably the most famous mime in the world. And it's the features that they've got put in here. The new commentary with Kim Newman and Barry Forshaw. We got interviews with the producer. We got video essays here. We have some text essays as well. So some cool stuff. I do have the olive edition of this one. I bought it when HMV was selling it in Canada.
Oh,
and I actually bought Shanks for $1.
$1.
$1. You know how hard olive films were to get back then?
So you went in and you went, I'll buy that for $1.
I'll buy that for $1. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, it's like Tenet and Shanks. I know these are going to be on the controversial in the way that people. So you're either going to love or hate these films.
Yeah, that's the thing.
There's two. I don't think there's any middle of the road for these.
Well, personally, I feel like that's what Vinegar Syndrome used to be. There was films that came out that had a big cult following, but also films that other people saw as garbage for some reason or another. and whether it's someone like Roman Polanski being the director or
Yeah,
something else. And I think it's good. I think this month alone has been. I mean, don't get me wrong. People always say October, November are the best months of Vinegar Syndrome.
they do usually.
Um, you
And
know,
September too,
but
actually.
yeah, exactly. But I really feel like this month has been a massive Vinegar Syndrome month
I'll
because
agree.
it feels so old school Vinegar Syndrome, and it's exactly what I want from Vinegar Syndrome. And I feel like this is it. And Roman Polanski title, that's a big title for Vinegar Syndrome, you know, and it's not coming out either from imprint over in Australia in that set, which is even nicer because, you know, more people are likely to import it. Plus, I like the window.
Yeah, and I think like for me, as much as a tenant is a big one, I think Shanks is bigger.
Oh
I
yeah,
know that's a weird take,
I would think from a classic point of view, definitely.
because it is such a unique film. And just to share it what Andy's saying there, I'm actually going to be watching Salem's Lot soon myself as well because I know it's on VOD. I wish I could go to the theater and see it.
Is that the
But
one that
yeah,
was
the
held
movie
back for a while? Is that the one that was held back for a while?
yeah, it looks really good, and I had the Gordon Lightfoot song in it, and it had
Mm.
me actually when I watched the trailer to the video, Malcolm, I went on my Spotify, like, God, I
Yeah,
forgot how much I love Gordon Lightfoot, and I just,
yeah.
like, put a bunch of his songs in my playlist.
It's amazing how that happens, isn't it?
It's incredible. I mean, and the companies like Andy said there, like, he misses Olive. Me too, Olive, the original Twilight Time, I miss them so much.
I,
Got the new
I'm,
Twilight Time stuff, no isolated scores anymore. I'm actually disappointed in that.
I mean, I miss Twilight Time more than Olive films. Not because Olive films have great titles. I just bought, you know, Twilight Time more because I love the booklets.
They
I
did,
still
and they're
have a
done by
lot
the
of
same
Twilight
person,
Time
so
titles.
it had, like, a uniformity to it,
Yeah.
which I love. Hey there, Film Watcher. Is that
But watch you in the house. Way.
because we had this, like, I can just, like, dive down here, for instance. Like, for the month of October, I'm gonna be doing some horror stuff, and, one of the films I watched was this one right here, and I hadn't watched my version of this one. You have this, right?
Yeah, didn't yeah, films released that over here, didn't they?
I think so.
Yeah, I've got it.
You have more than me, so
Yeah, that's
yeah, I'm
true.
pretty sure I did. This is such a different giallo because there's this gothic aspect to it
Mm.
that kind of fits in with certain
It's
other, and I'm
beautifully
like, I'm
shot.
watching it and I'm like, this is somebody here said this is half Agatha Christie, half Scooby Doo, and they're right.
Yeah.
Uh, like the killer is so obvious in this movie, but I had a blast watching the film. Um,
Are you gonna do a review of it?
well, I'm doing a review. Actually, I might get you in for this because I'm going to be doing a review of some Spanish horror
You
in
should.
the
If you let me know what ones they are, can we watch them and we can do it together?
because I think what'd be nice is for us to do it and maybe like give our list like kind of a top 10 of the ones that we watched type thing.
We
I'm going
need
through
to
some
give the
match.
pill what they want, and that is the what is it called? Let's think. I'm trying to think of, you know, like you know, if you have like Mully for Scully and Mulder. I'm trying to think of that. What is it for Aaron and Malcolm? What could that be? We need to give the
Like a
pill what they
duo type
want.
thing.
Yeah, that's what we need.
It's there you go. I gotta put this. I got to say this. I'm so just Malcolm right now. 12-time book list and nice late scores. I was so stoked to get Body Double from them. Right on.
Oh,
Hey,
get
right.
lost. Get lost for Body Double. Body Double can go do one. Hey, Raf.
For those that are unaware, I to let you know, I am traveling next month for a couple weeks. I have to get some paperwork done, so I am headed to Canada.
Ooh.
So hopefully, I'm going to
Aaron's
get a
going
little
out there to
shopping done while
party.
there. And I'm not, so I got some releases I'm looking forward to. I really want to listen to that Grant Morrison commentary. I'm like so freaking stoked on that. Because I was initially I didn't know if I was going to get a copy of the film sent to me. Because I was doing like the review and I had like you get the screener thing before the movie comes out when it's still like doing like at the time still doing film festival runs. Actually, I was lucky enough. Now this is a source of pride for me. I'm taking the win on this
You're going
one.
to brag a little
I got
bit
to
here. Come
review
on.
like the film before Cinema Snob, which is freaking awesome.
Ooh.
How
I haven't
often
coined
in my
Cinema
career,
Snob out.
and I love Cinema Snob, right? So how often in my career is that going to happen? like almost never. So I'll,
So,
I'll take that.
so,
I'll take that rare win. Um,
so.
but the fact that the Grant Morrison thing, and you know what I'm like more than anybody else, like
Yeah,
Malcolm
yeah.
knows what a massive fan I am. I would love to. I spoke to Thomas on here. I'm so hoping to kind of like work that into getting Grant Morrison here sometime.
Mental.
I gotta get Thomas back again. And stupid autocorrect spelled his name wrong when I
Oh
pulled it up
no.
first, and I'm like, oh god, I feel so horrible. And he said you spelled my name wrong, and I'm like, screw you, autocorrect.
What the hell? I just Phil Watcher just said WWE 2K24 was one of the PlayStation Plus titles this month.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I can't be surprised. I mean, like, it hasn't done as well as the other ones. And there's a reason for it. Pat McAfee. Like, and the really inane, I'm gonna call it out, agents for getting like new for getting superstars. I think
Oh
that's
dear.
the dumbest thing. It doesn't work.
I think what they need to do to make that game better next year is they need to get rid of GM mode, get rid of faction mode, and just make
only get
it
more.
all about the wrestling and just have multiple storylines
If that was the
instead.
case, would be Fight Forever, and nobody be buying.
Oh, but Fight Forever was awful compared to the thing. I hate that game. I keep trying to play it and I always struggle with it. I can't even complete a bloody match.
See, I
What's
can like
that?
I find
didn't-
I grew up on the Ukes like Aki stuff. When I grew up, I was like in my 20s. But I used to play a lot of like WCW night like World Tour and all, and then
Yeah.
and the Revenge and stuff like that. I like certain aspects of it. I like it's an unfinished game. Like, let's be honest, AW Fight Forever is the TNA of this generation.
It's a
Remember
great
the TNA
arcade game. It's a great arcade game. If you're in the arcade, it'd be fun, right? That's what it is. But it isn't. I just don't think it's. I think it's a starting point. Let's put it that way. They make another one because let's be honest. When you look at the original SmackDown game, let's go back to WWE Attitude, for instance, and Warzone. They were great games, but they weren't fantastic games. So, and
Oh man, like I mean,
I just
some
find
of
it
those were
extremely
hard.
boring, Indy.
I mean, like it's like this ECW.
So, but
Have you seen Tough Guys Don't? I love Tough Guys Don't Dance actually.
I haven't seen Tough Guys Don't Dance yet. I own it. I've had it for a while, and I need to put it on because I've had it for 2 years.
Yeah, it's like me with Laughing Dead. Like that's just one of the titles I got
I
it
just
there.
don't go to.
I just haven't got to it yet.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't
Every
it?
time I find something that's better to watch. I've been watching a whole bunch of like, obviously I'm watching some newer films. I'm watching Falling Stars this week, and I'm watching a bunch of like Spanish films. Who Could Kill a Child, by the way, Malcolm, is definitely one of the titles that we'll be looking at.
Yeah, that's a brilliant one.
And I got a wonderful like thing of that. Honestly, if I'd had more bones on me at the time and there would have been another copy there, that's when it would have got you.
Your problem. Oh yeah, definitely. I'd have loved that. Yeah. So, are you going to pick me a movie up in Canada?
If I get the chance and I have the money at the time, we'll say.
So basically, if you don't go wild on buying like the Jackie Chan Volume 2 and all this,
I don't know. I mean, like it's gone up in price, and
yeah,
that's the thing. I want to. It depends, but hopefully at least I'm going to get you the Dawson's Creek.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
I mean, it's been a year now.
Yeah, but hey, that's it's like the song. I don't wait.
You know what? I picked up Poor Things from FOP the other day. People have been recommending it to me for a long time. My cousin, Alex, my friend Alex, and it was in there for £8, so I picked it up. So I need to give it a go because I haven't watched it. So I might get on Blu-ray. Oh, George! I ain't heard from you in ages. Where you been?
He's a busy man.
He's a busy man.
This month has been crazy for everybody that I know. That like I'd normally reach out to, and I'm like, next week is nuts. Well, this weekend, hopefully, me and you and Dad are going to be like filming for those Terror Train videos. So I'm actually really intrigued to check.
How's this eye doing?
I think it's getting better. Like Dad had a issue with the eye infection, so but fingers crossed we'll be able to get that filmed
I might not be
this
able to be
week.
on video either on that day because I've got an infection in my third eye.
Thank you,
and
Dr.
we all
Strange. Favorite
and we
cinema,
all and we all know on camera I have to slowly go do 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 do.
I like the t-shirt, man.
You like it? It's the Terror Train one. You know, the Night Train's Terror.
Everybody's got something to do.
Dave, how you doing? Cinema Dave.
Cinema Dave, by the way, has a video coming up on this channel, which we filmed last month.
Oh, when you talk about adult horror movies, right?
Well, that's totally what's no, we're
So
talking like
Dracula, what was it? Dracula sucks. Looking through the mirror.
I forgot about that movie actually.
That was released. That was released this month.
Was it really?
Yeah, for Vinegar Syndrome on Melusine.
I'm still bummed that Chucky season 3 got canceled. What happened to Malcolm there? We have lost Malcolm for a second, guys. There we go.
I don't know why, but I got cut off then.
It's probably on my side. There's been a bit of a low connection. I am upstairs, so I've been trying to do it up here more because obviously my movies are in the background. But yeah, Chucky getting canceled was a real bummer for me. I really like. I think it's gotten better, especially the third season. And that's always the killer part for me. Like that's for me too. Like there's, I still have to see Immaculate with Sydney Sweeney, and I hear such great stuff about it.
It was good. It was good. I watched it. It was all right. It wasn't as good as I hoped, but it was better than generic, in my view.
Like I know Terrifier 3 is right now. How do you feel about the Terrifier series? Like in general, let's get some hot takes here. How do you feel about the Terrifier series in general, Malcolm? Be honest.
Everyone's hot takes. So remember, guys, he asked for this, all right? It wasn't free of mind. Okay, the first one I thought was okay. I really liked the sawing through the body bit. I really like that bit. But then I've always been into, that. Me and Donna do it every weekend. Right? But 2 was over long. It was gory, like way too over gory. I feel like it relies on gore. The storyline is just a clown walking around doing funny faces and winking at people. And, he might as well be playing with his nuts. He pulls trash bags along, but then doesn't put them in the garbage. I mean, what kind of attitude's that? And then, I just don't like the whole gore aspect. I want the story.
He froze up there. We apologize.
I want the story. I want to see him, the clown, have a relationship with another female clown, because apparently the third one is more supernatural.
I like that it exists, and I think that Art the Clown character is absolutely fantastic.
We know they've announced the 4th one.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to mention it, actually. But here's the thing: I'm not going to lie. My favorite Art the Clown
is Hallow's Eve, right?
It's Hallow's Eve.
Yeah, I prefer that.
Because although we don't have the main actor that's playing him now, it was creepy. It was really creepy.
It was not more creepy than the movies,
I did watch Terrifier, and for me, Art the Clown was really what kept Terrifier. He carried the movie on his back.
Yeah.
Because no shade to the other actors, but they didn't have much to work with.
Yeah. Let's be honest, they can't act for shit.
The thing when the script is like that, Malcolm, though, how can you tell? I know I've been in stuff where I've come off, and I'm sure people said, "Oh my God, this guy's got to be horrible." But there's just times when it's just not there. If it's not on the page, you can only put so much across. And if they focus too much on murder set pieces, which I love that there's murder set pieces, and
ruins it.
You got to have something to back it up. Like Argento, for instance, right? Argento had all these incredible giallos, and there are these really cool murders and stuff like that. But there was a story. There's a backbone. There's a base to that.
Let's compare Terrifier to Argento because they're definitely similar. I mean, at least they use the same kind of lighting, I guess, at times.
Yeah, there
I
you go.
mean, especially in the second one.
I do like the girl that came in part two. Actually,
She's
two.
good.
There was like this little girl clown character that I really dug, and I thought that the lead actress was really good in the second one. I thought that was a big improvement. But so I just feel like right now they're going straight into I'm worried that they're going to go into the blood and honey route of like, okay, let's just
Yeah.
try to make this as over the top as
My
possible.
my problem is this is becoming a franchise, which is something I've always wanted for new. I've always wanted new franchises with new people, like when Saw came
Exactly.
along. I've always wanted that, but I just feel like the movies are so long for no reason other than let's kill people in gory ways, and it just hurts the film for me. It just feels like I get, the whole gore thing's fun, but I'm not a teenager anymore. I don't need to sit there watching gore, 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 gore. Now, don't get me wrong, people are entitled to enjoy that if that's your thing. You know, um, we all have our own tastes as we get older, but for me, I'm what you call, as Aaron has called me at times, a bit of a snob when it comes to horror because I'm like, oh, I've seen this before years
It's the
ago.
rite of passage when you're young, I think, to go through that like gore stage.
Yeah,
When you're like watching the goriest things possible, and you're like, look how
yeah,
cool, look how tough I am. 'Cause
exactly. It's a bit like
it's
when you
worth
watch wrestling as a kid and you wearing all the merchandise and you're going, yeah, I'm Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
As now, I mean, you still do it on the weekends, but
Well, there
you
you go.
know,
Not Hulk Hogan. I did. I'm still sad. I don't have my DX shirt anymore. I had a DX shirt, and
please tell me it said on the back, suck it.
yes, that's the one I had.
Oh, yes.
You got to have the original, like suck it shirt, and
Well,
that
indeed, I can't take you seriously anymore. If you haven't seen All Hallows Eve, but you've seen the Terrifiers, that's terrible.
it's they're. I think they're on Tubi. I'm pretty sure they are. The second one has nothing to do, by the way, with Art the Clown. He's not even in it, and that's not where Art the Clown actually even gets. There's like a short film Art the Clown in it, but the Terrifier ones are like go back and watch Hallows Eve. I think they're really really good.
I'm going to say
George
this
is a
for
sex
George.
and gore and
I'm going to
violence
say this
guy.
for George because I want people not to misunderstand George here. George likes all of that plus double, and if it's all together in one scene, he's even more happy. All right. So, in case you thought he doesn't mean it in the most sincere way possible, he does. Okay. I'm just clarifying that. Yeah, that poor turtle. I hate what they did to that turtle.
Yeah, I mean, like at least Terrifier's fake, man. I mean, like
Is it? That woman looks real. We was hung upside down.
that's actually a really good point. And that's when you get into like when you mention something like the Cannibal Holocaust, right? That's when we go back to something that like Malcolm loves to talk about VHS. In that
Yeah,
a
always
film
back
like
to the
that
VHS.
works better. We got like you have to admit, Malcolm, that since we started talking about it, if you look online now, there's been a proliferation of like kind of a resurgence
I
in
can
this
tell you
VHS
why.
collecting.
I can tell
It's weird,
people
like
why. Okay, I'm going to tell you why. We live. Okay, so most people sit too close to their HD TVs, right? So now, beautiful clear picture looks more blurry. So you put a VHS on, and you actually feel like you're looking at the same quality now. So that's why.
I think it's about the experience more than the quality. Like I'm pushing on my channel right now. What's the word? What's the phrase, Malcolm? Do you know this phrase? Do you know what I'm
Film
going to
over
say?
format.
Film over format. Exactly. T-shirt coming soon.
But the amount of times we mention this, someone else is going to end up making one before you do.
But I think like if you watch Cannibal Holocaust like back in the day, and I recommend the animal cruelty-free version, and you watch it on VHS, there is a difference than seeing it on a Blu-ray because you can tell it's fake. But when you got this like VHS copy, same with like some movies, like if you don't know who the people are and you're putting it in, and you're like, what did I get? Did I actually come on to like, did I come onto a snuff film? Did it come onto something kind of just weird and different? Um, and so there's that aspect to it. I think VHS works well with horror, but not everything. I mean, obviously, I like my 4Ks, my Blu-rays, my DVDs. So
Why is my camera the wrong way around now? Yeah.
you're on
Oh,
the
there we go.
stoked for Terrifier 3 more than any other horror flick coming. I didn't like both that X and Terrifier sequels with more gore but less nudity. There was the only issue I had with Maxine. Um, I think, well, there wasn't a ton of nudity for for the second one as well. Did we lose Malcolm again? We did. Look at that. Gotta get him back here, I guess. Do we have Malcolm? No, he disappeared on us again. Okay, I gotta wait for him to pop up again. He's fixing his camera. But I enjoyed the X trilogy. I just really enjoyed what they did with that, and it was nice to see such different styles of films. But it's different than Terrifier, because Terrifier, I think, is giving us what you'd call the first new horror villain in a long time, right?
Yeah.
And that's nothing to take lightly.
And the fact it's a clown as well, and really well done, makes it better. I just wish there was more to it than just what we get. That's what I wish.
And there's times that I thought Malcolm we were going to get other things. Orphan Killer, for instance, I thought was really good. It was one of those low budget, like kind of independent films, promoted like solely on Facebook. Was one of its big things at the day when Facebook was early. Facebook was so cool, and not for our grandparents. But Orphan Killer 2 never happened, and I was kind of sad that it didn't. Especially where I got the mask. They need to put me. By this point, I think I promoted Orphan Killer more than anybody else.
Yeah, you have. I think you're its only fan at this point.
It's a cool film, man. You own it, right?
No, I don't.
Oh, you got to get it. The lead actress, who I did get to meet in person. She's a wonderful lady, by the way. Is friggin' gorgeous. And shower scene. Showers. You want your shower scene.
Shower scene. One of the things that makes a woman look more beautiful is either being in a shower and getting all wet, like on the body and the hair, or being under a waterfall. Oh my word.
You're a massive
I still watched, pal.
Blue Lagoon?
Go on. Blue Lagoon. Do you know I've never watched a single one?
It's okay. They're not exactly really super interesting films.
Here's something for you. I was in FOP and I said to Alex, I said, I've never watched Cinema Paradiso.
Really? I'm surprised. You really should watch that. That's a really fantastic film.
I should, but I never have. I think the reason I haven't is because I've always seen clips of it, like everywhere when I've watched documentaries and stuff. And it kind of put me off of watching it, not because of the movie, but because I was like, I don't want it spoiled by already seeing certain scenes for a while.
It's a long film, but it's like it's a film lover's film. You can tell it was done by somebody that loves cinema.
Do you think Terrifier is breaking boundaries? That's what I think. I think it is breaking boundaries. Like, I never thought I'd see a woman getting sawn in half upside down with a full-on bush shot.
I don't know. I mean, it's going back. Not so much breaking boundaries as it's going back.
I would say modern boundaries.
I don't mean like it's regressing. I mean it's when I grew up in the 80s, man. This stuff was par for the course until it ended up until the censors took over. We got a lot of this like gory crap, gore stuff. Some was great.
Name one. Name one right now. Then name one right now. I mean, that isn't like Italian or that, but it's more American Canadian. I
think. Well, look at the stuff that's been out there. Like, there's been so much that I would like, and I do think like for the gore now, it's bringing it back, and I think Hatchet started it. When Adam Green came out with Hatchet, and we got
before it got really silly.
Yeah, and I think the gore was better done in Hatchet than it is in Terrifier.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there's a balance, and I think Terrifier has that. They're the fourth film, and I really I'm cheering for obviously I bought the massive expensive edition over there, right? I'm cheering for Terrifier to be a success, so I want to see. I want to see it. I want to see it like get to that point. Like, they've started a mythos in part 2. There were some intriguing parts there. I want to see them follow up on that. And I don't need to know everything, But this isn't Halloween where I want things like taken away. I want
Yeah,
just super mystery. I think there is like I want to learn some stuff without them like over explaining things to me.
yeah, I get that. Well,
But
that's always been my problem. That's always been my problem with the original Halloween. After the first one, they start to try and explain who he is more, and it kind of takes away from that mystery element.
they start over like, oh yeah, because then it's like it's his well, don't worry, it's his sister. It's his sister, and also there's this, and of course the Rob Zombie films like oh
Let's be
really
honest.
over.
Let's be honest. Jamie Lee Curtis was your sister. You'd want to give her a good stabbing toe. You know, no, I mean, I think he was. I think he was. I think he was. Misunderstood.
Are you saying that there was like? Here's the thing. Did you see the girl that played his sister, like in the first film? Like,
What do you
at,
mean?
like
You mean at the very beginning?
yeah, she's gorgeous.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? When I was a kid, I paused at that shot.
The nudity, like
Yeah, and that was, and just so people know, that was on VHS. Oh, I tell you, the women back then, my word, in that film, they don't make them like they used to. In those shots, I think we were a lot more open back then when it comes to, the fun element of horror, and it just didn't. It just felt more natural.
hey, Arch. I
Arch.
Halloween is one of those films that I think the '78 Halloween is always it's timeless. There's certain films that I think are timeless. I think
Yeah.
Halloween's timeless. I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre is timeless. I think the original Black Christmas is are timeless films. Those are films that work no matter the generation.
No, the original Black Christmas isn't timeless. The Black Christmas that is timeless is the Imogen Poots one.
Yeah, that's
the third one.
You go to all the time, and not the really cool one with like no.
Oh come on, this Black Xmas is the coolest one. With
I wanted
the whole...
to like that so much.
I love the second one.
Oh my God.
Do you know what? I watched the original Black Christmas in years, and I've got 4K in there, so I should watch it.
It's definitely worth watching because it's one of those that stands the test of time because it's not like people say, is it going to be a slow burn? Some people say, well, Halloween is a slow burn. No, because even when there's not killing going on, there's something's always happening. With Halloween, friends, the '78 Halloween, tension is always being built.
Yes.
Every scene is purposely done. Black Christmas is the same way. Every scene is purposely done.
Look, my view of the original Halloween is it's one of the last. It's one of the last of the very what's that? Do I have to? Oh God, not that. No, no Rob Zombie Halloween here. Okay. I'm never talking about that again. So I've got a whole thing now. No, VHS, Rob Zombie's Halloween. Everyone's going to start doing this now. The thing with me for the original Halloween is this. I think the original Halloween is one of the last of the real old school horror movies, but with the upgrade of what horror would become, where it started the genre of the new horror. Same as I think the original Psycho is one of the original, if not slashers of the time.
Both agree and disagree. I think that films like Black Christmas and When a Stranger Calls are much more what a slasher film is, as in a blueprint of what a slasher film is, than Psycho could ever be. Psycho.
Yeah, but I mean, when you look at it from the point of view of what it's, because you got to think of timid versions of when you go back to the 30s and 40s and you look at what horror was and how it was all about the tension, it was all about the feeling, it was all about that. That's exactly what Psycho is in a lot of ways. And I do think without Psycho, without that start of that kind of real creepiness of that moment in that, it might not have pushed along what we have today. I get what you're saying from the point of view of those, but they came a lot later.
I think for me, like when I'm looking at a film like Psycho, it's more a blueprint towards what we would get with the erotic thriller in the 80s and 90s, as opposed to being something that I.
But you can't mistake the shower kill. The shower kill is in so many slashers.
But that's the thing. Like aside from the shower kill, it really doesn't have, like,
Dressing up and killing people. That's what most slashers are.
well, not really. I mean, like,
Yeah.
yes, there's like we have the people that wear the masks, we have the mystery ones, but like if we're gonna be like completely honest with this type of stuff.
Seen from the
Let
POV
let's
point
look,
of view.
let's look at the fact that Giallo films we're doing this too. And 9 chances out of 10, to be completely blunt, um, they weren't looking at Psycho. They were looking at Baba. They were looking at stuff like that. And we know this because when Friday the 13th 2 came out, the murders were from Bay of Blood.
But when did the other ones come out? Did they come out before Psycho?
Well, some of them did. Like, it depends on what you're looking at. I mean, like, their earliest Bava one would be The Girl Who Knew Too Much, Evil Eye, and that came out in. I have to look. I have to cheat because I not great when it comes to
You
dates.
know, in all reality, though, I'm not saying that it exactly came from that. I'm saying that I feel like that was
No,
a
you
start.
would be on the majority of the people that say that. I am in the minority when it comes to
I mean,
that.
if you go from American standpoints, obviously,
Yeah.
because it's like nudie in cinema. If you look at nudie in cinema, it come long before we even had it in European cinema. You know,
So, like, I guess the best way to put it too is like, it came out 3 years after Psycho did, right? Like, The Girl Who Knew Too Much.
Doctor Giggles says Malcolm wins. Thank you.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that it's that as influential. And I will say this: I think that Halloween itself was extremely influential when it came to like getting slashers or getting actually independent horror to be more mainstream.
Well,
But Friday the 13th is the film that gave us the blueprint for slashers. Like going
you mean
forward.
the
Oh
basicness of
yeah,
it.
like the nudity, the murder set pieces, the way the kills are set up, the character tropes, all of that. Like that doesn't come
My
from Halloween.
problem, my problem with Friday the 13th, you bring that up is, yeah, it probably did, but it also brought back the monotonous of, oh, we're going to get the same places over and over again, and we're going to get these kills, and that's
But
not a
what
diss per se. That's just, if that's the basic blueprint, then we're still going by that today in a lot of ways, and that means it became a tedious effort compared to Halloween. In my view, Halloween, the original Halloween, is better because of the tension. That there's not many kills. There's the moments where Michael kills people, and then he just looks at them with such innocence and such, like, like, oh, I've killed my toy kind of thing. For what happens is you feel more for him as a character, as a killer. With Jason, the only time you really feel for
but
Jason is in the moments where you feel like he's been manipulated, and even then you're like, oh, is this going to save the person's life? As with Michael, you just feel like, and I'm not talking about the first one, you
yeah,
feel like he's kind of got this kind of innocence to his character, and it's hard to explain, but I feel like Halloween will always be superior to all of the Friday 13s put together.
I think that one thing you forget, like you're not like kind of bringing in there, because you mentioned Jason right away. But if we're going for
That's okay, George. Yeah, you can FaceTime me after. Sorry, Aaron, carry on.
if we're going for the Friday 13th film that started the blueprint, it's not part two; it's part one.
Okay.
Jason's like rarely in it.
All
It's
right, we
and I
can
guess
go to that. I can argue on that one as well if you want. But
I think that like for me, and for years, I was one of those people that like, oh, the sequels are so much better. Like I Friday 13 just doesn't stand the test of time
the first
the
one's
same
the
way the
best.
earlier. No, but here's the thing. The second one's my favorite. But the thing for me is that I went to a drive-in theater and I watched Friday the 13th again with my cousin. And I got to see that in the last couple of years, just before I came here, actually. And you know what? I watched a lot of horror movies that month and in that drive-in theater. Uh, Friday 13th was one of the few that stood out and stood the test of time. We literally laughed our asses off watching the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and how ludicrous that
Who
was.
wouldn't?
But we were actually, and I'd seen, obviously, I'm a massive Friday fan, but so how many times I've seen this film, but there were moments that still got me when I'm watching it in the theater because there's a big difference. And like people look at stuff nowadays and look, okay, their experience from seeing it at home, but go to a theater and watch these movies again and see how they grab you.
I
And I
don't
think
know.
that
I
becomes like
mean,
a
I
different
don't
space.
know. It depends how you feel about the cinema, to be honest. I get what you're saying, but it depends on how you feel in the cinema, how the experience is. Personally, I think the cinema experience, for the most part, is a very frustrating one nowadays.
Okay.
I find it hard to concentrate on a film if I'm in the cinema because of everybody around me. So that's a personal thing on me. I'm not saying I don't get it because I do think films are better in the cinema if you can see them in there for sure. You know, you got the surround sound, you got the speakers, you've got maybe even the atmosphere of the crowds if it's right.
Well, for
But for
me, the drive-in is my preferred. If I can choose between like a theater and a drive-in and at home, I would choose to drive-in every day because
the
I
only
get that
time I
personalization of
the
being at
only
home.
time I'd pick a drive-in is if I was going to get laid there. If I'm not getting laid there, then it's fouled.
We're not like 20 nowadays. We're actually going to movies to watch the films.
Are we?
Um,
Oh, that's why I've been going wrong this whole time.
so that's why I'm not enjoying the films there. But I don't know. I think that like when it comes to the blueprint, like Halloween is objectively a better film. Like I'm not arguing like which film is better. Like what I'm arguing like what film like set that standard for
If
what
we
was
look at if we look at the original Friday the 13th, right? Yeah, it's great moments. It has a great jump scare at the end if you've never seen it, right?
yeah.
It has the incredible passion of the mother, who you don't see until the end. And when you do, she
It's such a
steals the
cheat.
whole movie. She steals
Such
the
a cheat.
whole movie. In that final 20 minutes, she steals the whole movie. You know, the POV shot kills are fun because you're like, who is it? Who's it going to be? And you really think it's going to be his mum, right? At that point. So, because you think, oh, it's going to be somebody at the camp. It's going to be, maybe it's even going to be Ralph, because of how crazy he is.
I
And
think like for me
it's
when I
such a,
first saw it, I'm like, oh,
uh,
it's got to be it's got to be the owner. It's got to be
yeah,
like you
that's
don't
what I
really
mean. Anybody but the mother, right?
yeah.
So when she turns up, the intensity of that movie shoots up. You feel so bad for her and you feel so intense for what she's doing. But when her head gets chopped off, sorry if this gets ruined for people, right?
Yeah.
You just feel absolutely horrified in that moment. And you actually feel devastated for her.
And the fight is so
It's
real
such
too. Like you
impactful.
actually fight. Like, oh,
Yeah,
that
that's
fight
what I
is
mean.
great.
That's what I mean.
Like
It's
it is
such an
one of the
impactful
greatest things to
moment.
fight.
So in that moment, in my view, Friday the 13th is better than Halloween in that part because it feels real. It feels so gritty in the fight scene, and you know that, oh, she's not disappeared. Her head's gone, you know. As with Michael at the end of that one, he's gone, and you're like, where'd he go? But you've got killer soundtracks in both of them. But yeah, I do think, oh, no, it's right. Hey, right.
Like Man for DNA, I had him on the channel. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that's good. Good comment, Matty. Thanks.
like it's you almost feel sad because you know you're not going to see her again, right?
Yeah.
You're like you kind of want a prequel, and it's like with Betsy Palmer, but now obviously that's too late. But I do like unlike you, like who felt that it got more monotonous. I feel that it works best when it follows that when it knows where it's going when it follows that pattern because you can just look at like the first the first 5 Friday 13th films. I know the fifth one's a bit more contentious for some people, and they still have like there's still scare aspects. There's like they're I find them actually better, and then you get the sixth one, which is a fantastically made film, but
And
it's
then
comedy.
isn't 6 the one with all these bosoms? Is
There's
that
no
5?
nudity. There's no nudity in 6.
Well, what
5,
is it? Is it number 5? Is it number 5 where she gets them out?
5.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, and when they start to do, let's say, try something different, it sucks. Like it really does. Jason Goes to Hell.
Jason X was good.
It's good, but is it a Good Friday the film, or is it a good film?
Well, it's
It's
not called Friday the 13th, is it? It's called Jason X, so technically it isn't.
exactly. It's not Friday 13th film, and it's good as its own thing. Like you'll find that a lot of people that liked Friday 13th initially didn't like Jason X, and a lot of people that were more into like say sci-fi films, and the kind of like that sci-fi horror kind of dug Jason X a bit more. So it found its audience there. Jason versus Freddy, I know a lot of people love that, and have a lot of kind
Very
of like
dated
love for
now.
that film.
I
I'll be
love that
honest,
film, but it's very dated
I
now.
freaking I didn't like it even back then. I remember I was watching it with no, this story I can't tell it on here, but there's a story. I'll tell it on Patreon sometime. I ain't telling it here.
Well,
But
he was watching it with Deborah. He was watching it with Deborah Voorhees.
no, not that
And
type of story. Just
and
that type.
Jason's dead mother's head, and it just got a bit wild, I guess.
No, wasn't not that type. Not that. Not. It's not a raunchy story.
It goes good, right? Hope you're going well.
But overall, I was really bored, and yeah, I'm sorry, Ken Kersinger. It just didn't do it, and I don't blame Ken Kersinger.
I think if I'm honest, I think the reason I probably liked it was because it came out when I was 15.
You were the perfect age for it, man.
So it's the perfect age to think it was incredible. I had the perfect time. It's like ninja films. So I love ninja films from the 80s, but nobody can say they're masterpieces. Nobody, not really.
Are you saying
No, definitely not. I wouldn't say any of my favorite movies are masterpieces by any mean. I mean, Prom Night, My Bloody Valentine, are they masterpieces? No. Do I admire them and do I respect them and will I fight for them? Of course I will, because to me, I think they're incredible movies. But there's so many flaws, there's so many problems, there's so many. But I'd love to debate those things, Phil, because I think that's how we learn about cinema.
Exactly, it's true. If we like, for instance, like I think this would be really boring if me and you agreed on everything. That's why I think it works better when we're chatting. Sometimes it's because we don't agree on everything.
And that's why I feel like when we argue, like about VHS.
Like the superiority of VHS. That's true. But I'm actually looking forward to a lot of talk about the new Sam's Lot movie. I'm actually looking forward to that. I don't know if it's gonna be any good, but
it's up now, right?
Yeah, it is. Like it should be up where you're at.
Yeah.
But I'm actually intrigued with that one. Have you been watching go slight thing only for 1 second though? Have you been watching the Agta series?
No, I haven't been watching it.
I've seen the fourth episode yet, but it's fucking amazing. It's good. Like people complained, and I'm sorry, but if there's a series that has Catherine Hahn and Aubrey Plaza and those ladies that are in that film in it, and you're complaining about that, what the actual fuck?
I heard there's serious nudity in it. No,
I wish it's Aubrey Plaza.
Hey, Dave said yes. Before I came into this stream, I was actually working on your text. So just so you know, I was working on your text, and I'm not just here not typing it. So just so you know. And Ginger Snaps, you know what? I need to watch them again, to be honest.
Well, the neat thing for me, when's the last time you saw the Ginger Snaps films?
Quite a while ago. I never bought the second one because I bought the VI Vision one, so that was like 2 years ago. I bought that, and I probably haven't seen them in maybe over 10 years. So
remember the second one, like set the asylum type place, right?
Yeah.
And there's a little girl ghost.
That's you, isn't it?
That's Titania Maslany from Orphan Black and She-Hulk. Yeah.
There's only one reason to watch the Ginger Snap movies, though. There's only one reason, and that reason is Catherine Isabel. Oh!
First one, she is so good in those films.
I love doing American Mary. I love doing American Mary, and I got to be honest, when she talks to that guy, I was like, please do it to me, baby. You know? It's funny because she was great. She's a great actress in Orphan Black. Tatiana Maslany. Is that her name?
Do you know that in Friday the 13th and in Friday vs. Jason, like Ronnie, you tried to force her to do like a nude scene, and like they had to get a body double because she refused to do it.
Oh, she's selfish. She should have done one. You know, all these actresses. I'm calling you out now, but reviews. You took away a lot of hormonal boys' dreams away with you. You know, it's like Trish Stratus saying she'd never
You're
do
saying why can't it
Playboy.
be more like Jenny Agutter and Helen Mirren? Is that
Yes,
what you're saying?
yes. All right, what's this? Forever Goes Downhill in the line. Yeah, I think that's a given.
That is
Indeed, to
so
be
true.
honest. Definitely.
New Line didn't have the rights to Friday 13th. Actually, just had the rights to the name Jason. There were certain characters they couldn't use. That's why they would have had to pay a ton of money to use like Tommy Jarvis. So to replace Tommy Jarvis with the character, what's his name?
I
A Duke, right? Creighton Duke.
Yeah, yeah. What's her name? Catherine Isabel. She was in See No Evil 2 as well, wasn't she? Where she straddles Glenn Jacobs on the tower. And I remember thinking to myself, you lucky son of a... Double.
Here's
Oh.
See No Evil 2 is horrible.
I
Like,
didn't mind
how
it.
can you have how do you have a movie with that many good actors suck that bad? Because we're going to get to a movie like eventually. Well, I don't know if we get to it now because we're going in, but like, you know, spoiler alert for everybody that knows this anyway. Fear.com is getting a release from one
Yeah,
of the
it
partner
is.
labels.
I bought it.
And are you didn't?
I did. I ain't seen it in years. It wasn't that
There's a
bad.
reason. Yes, it was.
It wasn't that bad.
I have a snapper case DVD of Fear.com, and
That's why.
I don't need anything else. I don't need anything else.
I'm going to be honest
And
with
I
you.
got
The reason
one back.
Evan's got a problem with Fear.com is because he caught his finger in the snapper case.
Oh, it's a horrible film. I mean, like, it's Fear.com and Soul Survivors were two movies that had really
Soul
good cast.
Survivors sucked monkey balls, but
It did, and so does Fear.com. If you trust me, when you go back and watch it again, you're gonna be this is gonna be a Malcolm Bin movie. Just watch it. It's not a good movie. I don't recommend you pick it up. Guys, it is bad. And I wish it wasn't because the cast is incredible. But there's a few films like that came out in the 90s, late 90s, 2000s that had like these incredible casts and you expected so much from them. And then when you turn them on, you're just so bored. Fear.com is going to bore the hell out of you. The Tenant is going to be like action packed like film too. That one.
oh,
Yeah, Danielle Harris and Catherine Isabel are both in See No Evil 2, and it still sucks. How is that a possibility? How do you put those two absolutely fantastic actresses, gorgeous by the way too, and wonderful actresses,
I
and
bought that disc.
have it like be
I
so
bought
bad?
that disc, and it never sucked. It never sucked. I'm still there, still waiting. It never sucked. So it was bad, but it didn't suck in that way. Alan,
Yeah,
Alan's
welcome,
here. Where's Sweet Willie? I ain't seen Sweet Willie. Where are you? Better be
I
watching.
love the fact that we got so many people here today.
So
Body
the hunky
those
YouTube arrives, and so many people turn up. See who I am with my adoring fans. Hello.
There's so many good titles that are coming out now. I got to go to one of the other titles while while
Yes.
you're doing that.
Oh, well,
We
I'm
had some
like
with
an idiot.
Dial D for Demons.
Jordan Chan movie. It's not the greatest, but it's fun. It looks like it's got blood specks on it, you know, like embossed sticking out. So that's pretty cool.
Dude, is this a Cat 3 film?
It's kind of, but it's not. It's
Mm.
basically a non-Cat 3 film. It's close to it, but it's not. Do you know what is a Cat 3 film? Kick-Ass.
The American film Kick-Ass?
Yeah, Kick-Ass. That's a Cat 3 film because I saw Japanese, a Hong Kong Blu-ray release. It's a Cat 3. Cry Wolf, Matty, is one of those films that I really loved until the ending where it just spoils the whole thing.
It makes no. Cry Wolf, again, it's another cast, and it truly is an underwhelming film.
Yeah.
Because the ending kills everything for the film. Because when you get to the end of it, and the reveal, if you have a modicum of sense for watching the film, it makes absolutely zero sense.
Do you want to know a good film, a good horror film? I don't know if you'll agree with me. Pathology. I really like Pathology.
I think I have that one. I'm trying to remember. Was there two? Or was that one that had one?
It was one. Pathology. I wish I could remember who was in it right now, but Pathology was a good film. I enjoyed it. I thought it had some good twists in it.
Well, did you like this one here?
What one's that one? Is that
Mindbender.
Mindbenders? I ain't
Yeah.
seen it. I ain't seen that one. Have you seen that one? Because it seems like something you would have seen.
Well, it's got Lee Turgeson, and I was a massive fan of Oz, so I probably have. Like, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember right now. A lot of these films, like this month, like aside from like the obvious big ones, like I don't really like have a solid memory for.
Remember again, guys, if you want to see Shanks, you have to see Lamb first.
You don't. This is the one that I'm sure. Did you get Attack the Beast Creatures?
No, because I'm not going to buy overpriced VHS and why.
Well, you bought overpriced junk when you bought Fear.com. So I'm just saying.
Hey, I've said you're being rough with me. Hey, look, you're buying the new Fear.com release, just how the Stranger Fruit does to knee you in the groin, which is equivalent. If I was going to pay some $40, it'd be to do something a lot more pleasurable than knee me in the groin.
It's not a good movie, man. Like objectively, Fear.com's not a good movie. Like it's not well done. It's not well acted. It's just it's not well written.
I'm being really friendly today because Matt is in here, and I normally bring up the Rob Zombie Halloweens, and I could bring up the David Gordon Green Halloweens to you, but no, I'm being nice.
I will sit down, Malcolm, and I will watch Rob Zombie and Rob Halloween and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 theatrical cuts and director's cuts back to back before I sit down.
Yeah, but that's because you like the grind. That's why. We've said this before. You love the grind and the torture.
Before I watch Fear.com.
Yeah, what you tell me you'd watch like, what is it, like 9 hours if you put those 4 cuts together?
I'm bluntly honest. Like I'm on like now I'll watch Fear.com before I'll sit and watch Zack Snyder's Justice League again. Because I ain't getting those far as my life back. But yeah, at least I'll get.
I ain't seen Fear.com in years. I ain't seen it since I got on DVD. I might watch it. It might be the biggest pile of crap I've seen. But I remember just enjoying it.
It will be. But that's okay. So, Abducted from Canadian National Pictures. I remember liking this one.
This is one of those movies people wanted on Blu-ray for ages.
Dan Haggerty? Is it Dan Haggerty one? Yeah, it is. Okay. Yes, I've seen this one. So this is one I did like. This one I hope you got because this actually is a good film.
I did. I bought a lot of titles this month.
So this is one I definitely recommend. I had a lot of fun with that one.
I picked this one up. This is a Shudder.
From Shudder, and I haven't seen it. Nothing about it. Like I'd be lying to you if I say cover's gorgeous.
It's very beautiful. I was impressed. Shudder also released on this month on there. I found footage documentary and I went, oh, I'm not going to like this. And I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, this actually looks pretty good.
Coma from film. Which Coma is this?
I don't think I bought that.
Like I like Bertrand Bonello, but yeah, no, that's not it's not a day one buy for me.
I bought the trailer one. Everybody buys things.
The Cultivatic for trailer show. There's products out of stock. Yeah, I'm sort of quick.
Yeah, I bought it, but I had to slip.
Well, it's gone anyway. It's like slipper. It's like, let's see if this is the standard edition one. Nope. Looks like there's no edition of it.
So if anybody wants it, I'm charging $50.
Dude, oh really? Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 is here?
Well, you're the only person I know who got excited over it.
I love this freaking film. Are you serious? Have you seen this movie?
No, but I heard nothing but bad things about it.
Oh, well, those people suck. I'm sorry. Some people said bad stuff with Dude Bro Party Massacre. Here's the thing. I'm 53 years old. I'm going to give my opinion. I'll be honest. Good or bad. This is a fun ass film. It's a throwback to the slasher stuff. It's obviously there is no Dude Bro Party Massacre 1 or 2. though we see scenes from Dude
Yeah.
Bro Mask 2 within the film. It's insane. If you're a fan of Dead Meat, like I am, the YouTube channel Dead Meat. So Zorn, who's one of the writers for Dead Meat, and actually comes on the show a lot. He's friends, and he worked with those guys from
Ah,
Prime Massacre. So it has that type of humor too. Have you ever seen like Zorn's humor and stuff? It has that. It is
yeah.
insane. It is crazy. It doesn't take itself seriously. George is gonna love the gore. I'll tell you that
Mm.
much right now. Uh, but it's so
Is
funny
it
and
region
heartly.
3? Is it region 3?
Sadly, it's region A.
Ah, then George won't be able to get it then.
Yeah. But it's too bad because it's a cool ass film. Who said it was bad?
Oh, everybody I know
Here we go.
who's seen it. Everyone knows it. I'm trying to think. I don't name people, do I? But there was a few
Okay,
people.
we'll put people on blast. I will. I'll say this.
There was
Hey,
there was a few people.
people that let know Malcolm, that misled him with
Yeah.
Dude Bro Party Massacre 3.
Oh,
Shame
yeah.
on you.
Yeah, you will.
Shame on you.
Well, I'll probably get this doing one of their sales because they'll probably put up for
Yeah.
like $12. I'll get it then now.
Because
Then-
like Fear.com, Dude Bro Party Massacre 3. You're gonna rewatch this one. It's just one I've seen it a few times, and it's just like this crazy, like the actor, the lead is like he plays like in flashbacks and stuff, his twin brother,
Oh God.
who was kind of like I get way cooler than him because he was better. It's just it's fucking insane in all the ways that I want a movie to be insane. Now, like to just give you like an example, like for me, I I severely loved when they did Student Bodies. Remember that one?
Yes, no boy,
Back in
sure.
the 80s. And
It's like
this,
that then, is it?
yeah, it kind of has a feel to it. A bit more kind of like it's a bit even sillier than Student Bodies. But anybody here that can like vouch for Dude Bro Party Massacre 3, definitely do so. I'll put your count up on screen.
They also announced Murder Party this month. Do you remember that?
Which is also a fun one. Actually, I like Murder Party. Actually, I've only got the DVD, but I did like Murder Party. That was a fun film. Oh, look, there's oh no, we're leaving that one on. Nope, nope.
Nope.
Found footage phenomenon.
I wasn't going to buy this, but then when I was trailing for it, I was like, you know what? It actually sounds like it could be a pretty decent documentary. I'm not a big
an actual good
footage
documentary
fan.
as opposed to sometimes some of the documentaries
Yeah,
that we get.
because the trailer
Like
looks
some of
pretty
the
good.
documentaries we get in the partner of us are like,
Yeah, they feel like they were done in a school by people that don't even know how to film. A lot of them.
it makes me feel like, man, I think I can make some documentaries. Actually, the movie that I am going to be reviewing later on this month, Falling Stars, is coming from XYZ.
Oh,
So it's probably going to be a future of Vinegar title. So, guys, don't miss that review when it comes out.
well, that's probably coming out in December then.
It's still in. Probably. Let me just check. Let's check my email.
Because I was thinking it might not come out in November, but it might come out in December.
Well, it hits VOD and cinemas in the United States on October 11th. So that means I'm going to have an embargo date, probably the 10th. Usually, that's what usually happens.
Okay, so it could be November. I could be right there. It could be November or December, maybe.
That or they're gonna wait till next year and like let it
Yeah.
kind of like do a couple of theater runs.
Where's Elsa?
But it looks like we've seen the trailer. It looks like that's a really good film.
It does. I want to know why Kino haven't released Elsa yet.
Which one?
Did you hear about Rumpelstiltskin?
Yeah, well, that Rumpelstiltskin could be coming from.
Well, it is coming.
Has it been announced?
They've announced it.
Okay, yeah. Wait, 1 sec. Oh my God, Rumpelstiltskin is actually. Yeah, I know.
They announced it. It's the cover now looks nice, but what I don't get is television announced it, but it's not coming out till December. And I get it, but it's still annoying because I'm like, that'd have been a great October title. Do you know what I mean?
They've been working on Rumpelstiltskin for a while,
They have been, yeah.
and it's a big title that they want to get right. So
4K as well.
yeah, and it's going to be a big release. I am a massive fucking fan of Rumpelstiltskin. I haven't seen it since VHS, and I had the VHS. I bought the VHS.
Well, I got confused when they put it up. I went, "Is it Rumpelstiltskin?" Because Rumpelstiltskin was announced as well.
Have you seen Rumpelstiltskin though? Have you seen it?
No. I've wanted to for a long time since VHS days, but I've never had the chance.
It's brilliant because it's the guy that did like Leprechaun, right? And the Leprechaun went in a different direction than he wanted to go. But he wanted Rumpelstiltskin is what he wanted to do.
Hey, I big collectibles.
It's his vision. Did I miss someone? There we go. Hey, welcome, man. And it is a brilliant freaking film. And I'm not gonna lie, I did know this was coming. But you know, unlike some,
I never know.
I keep we have to keep things to ourselves. I'm not one of those people who's going to let things know ahead of time. But this is a big one, and I think this is one that's for a lot of people are going to look at it, and it's going to bring them to television if they've never watched television before. It's the rad for television.
Hey, come here. I want everybody to see you so they can see how beautiful you look today. There you are.
Hey,
my beautiful wife, everybody. There she is. Look, she's trying to hide now. I need to show you off. Yeah,
that is so sweet.
You need to put the eating on. It's cold, isn't it? All right.
But yeah, no, Rumpelstiltskin is a massive win for television, and it's their biggest title to date. The last one, like with Big Boo, I guess Nelga Masker, but Rumpelstiltskin for me is like it's on another level altogether.
I'd say the next biggest title for the grey face one would be Pee Wee's Big Top. So far, I would say that'd be the next big one.
100%. Just for me, for instance, and for like.
Oh no, just mean if you have. I'm just saying. What I'm saying is, the next one after this, what would be big in my consideration?
Oh yeah, like Big Top Pee Wee's it's bigger like in that sense, 100% bigger than than Rumpelstiltskin. But if you're if you're a horror fan, this is one of it's like getting Necronomicon out there.
Yeah,
it's just one that we've wanted for so long, and to have them just put so much love and care into this, it makes me forgive some of these shadow videos that I wasn't a big fan of.
You mean the stuff you didn't pick up, but I've had to pick up?
You have a subscription. You have no choice.
Rebel Ridge. Isn't Rebel Ridge that new one, which everybody says is basically... Isn't Rebel Ridge the new action movie? But they say it's basically scene for scene the first Jack Reacher book.
Which one?
Rebel Ridge.
I haven't seen it.
I could have it wrong, but I'm sure that's the new Netflix movie, right? Because a lot of people are saying if you've if you've read Jack Reacher, the first book, it's basically story for story, the same story.
So we got, was it Murder Party? Definite recommendation on that one. I'm going to pass these here.
Snowtown, I was surprised about.
Reflecting Skin is actually not a bad film. I'm wondering if it's as good as I remember it though, or if it's one that I liked back in the day that won't be so big.
Yeah, that happens quite a lot. I've noticed. When we go back to stuff, I mean.
But at least it's not very dark.
Oh no.
Malcolm.
I remember Volsky, it's $50 for Blu-ray. Yeah, no, it's 4K.
Did you get hyped into that one? Like I haven't got the chance to finish to see all your video.
So you broke up there.
Yeah, Rumpelstiltskin's 4K release.
There's 4K Blu-ray and CD soundtrack.
They're loading it up. In all honesty, people could have guessed a bit because the soundtrack for Rumpelstiltskin came out a while back, which was kind of a hint.
You can
but
get
they just let it
Rumpelstiltskin
like kind of just
glasses. You can get
stay there
Rumpelstiltskin.
to see if anybody would pick up on
You can get Rumpelstiltskin sunglasses as well.
that. Got on the motorcycle. Like you're gonna have a blast with this film, Malcolm. You're gonna love that. This is a film, George. If I'm not sure if you've seen Rumpelstiltskin or not, you'd like it. You like this one
Yeah, George,
because
you
it's
need to get that. You need to get it. I can point my bundle for you at some point if you want.
I got to
It's a good
check to
movie,
see is this a
apparently.
regional free release? I got television.
Well,
Um,
the 4K would be region 3, wouldn't it?
yeah. So what am I thinking? Yes, of course it is. Well, hopefully.
But the Blu-ray might not
well,
be.
if it's television, yeah. If it was Scream Factory, you don't know, right?
But the Blu-ray might not be if that's
That
got all
Scream
the
Factory
extras
release
on
of
it.
Deer Hunter is like
Pisses me off that.
television's been good so far. I think we're putting extras on, haven't they, on a lot of stuff. Well, companies
Yeah.
are getting more with putting extras onto the 4Ks as well. I do recommend though, like region free players kind of need them.
Yeah. I think you do know this. Oh, did you hear Imprint
Who
releasing
knows this?
2
Oh my
new Imprint television sets?
I knew about one. They didn't know the second one. What's the second one?
Yeah, they announced them for
Do you know what they are
January,
yet?
but no,
Or are
not
they
yet,
just
but
like
they've announced them for January, so probably tomorrow. I'm hoping it's the same. If it's the same, I'll be buying that.
I want to see. Do we have from Saint? You mean like the edition I got? Just saying.
Oh, better than that one.
I'm an asshole.
Yeah, he always does this. He loves to bring
yeah.
that stuff up. Oh, Deer Hunter 4K was region locked, Matty.
It was, yeah. I'm excited to see this come up. Overall, it's not a bad month for Vinegar. It's a great month for Vinegar Syndrome. It's an okay month for
Definitely.
the partner labels. We got some decent titles there, and we got some not so good titles there. I want to see more like TV movie sets come out, and I'm glad that we're starting to see that come out. Like, I'm disappointed that the Kino Ghost one was locked to the United States.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to get that in Paris. So, how did your friend like Metaluna? Your cousin went to Metaluna,
my
right?
cousin loved it. So it was great. Very expensive though. Very expensive. I think the problem is.
Well, import titles.
The problem is, what people don't realise, people like me and Aaron, if we go places we don't go often, we're more likely to spend more in there. But people like my cousin, he's likely to be a little bit more, because he you heard him in the last video going on about £6 and £8 being a big difference. To me, I'm like, yeah, if it's like 10, 12 from 6, I get that, but not from like 6 to 8. You know, to me, that's normal inflation, but, you know, more than that, it isn't. So,
to be fair, and I think it's something that we should like really mention because it's important, especially for people that are watching us, that if you're watching this, you're not expected to be able to like do what me and Malcolm do.
yeah.
We very blessed when it comes to that. Like, get the stuff that you're most interested in. Get the stuff that's going to go within your price range, and choose the stuff that you like the best. If you are lucky enough to be able to go out and do stuff like that, fantastic, wonderful. But never feel like that there's a FOMO, or that you got to catch up, or you got to keep up the Joneses type of thing. There's way too much of that in the community. And me and Malcolm had conversations off screen about this, where I feel guilt in that I worry that people are going to look and feel like, oh, I got to get this because somebody else got this. And I used to be like that. I used to look at other people's channels, and before I did this myself, like, oh my God, I gotta, how am I supposed to keep up? Like, I'm watching Heath, or watching, Sublime, and they've got so much stuff in the background and titles. I'm watching like Mood 616, and I'm like, I can't do that. It's not me. But the thing is, now when I'm talking about this, thank you, George. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. take that to Canada with me next month,
That's
because I'm not sure if you're here when I said I'm going to Canada. Now we don't get radiance in Sunrise.
seriously.
Seriously, I've seen one title there once, but it's random. I thought that's the majority of them. The way that the titles are done is like MVD, Rewind, a lot of that
Mm.
stuff. Arrow, smattering. Indicator, yes, but usually only one copy. So you gotta be there to grab it.
What?
Yeah.
No, tons
Like
of Kino though, don't they?
crazy amount of Kino. Crazy amount of Kino. But Kino's like easier to get, easier distributed when it comes to that.
I was I want to say something quickly about collecting aspect, which
Perfect.
you were
Yes.
saying. People have to realise with me, when I get a lot of media, it's not because I'm going out my way and buying off Amazon. Most of the time I get my media, I'm buying it through people and making big deals with them at a time.
Yeah.
Like on average, for instance, today I got about 60 Hong Kong movies, and it was because I basically met a guy on eBay. I bought some stuff off him. He actually sent me a DVD, which I sent on for him to the person. We ended up chatting, and he ended up sending them to me for about £5 or £6 each. So, which is a bargain price. But what I'm saying is, you need to wait for those moments if you want to build your collection.
It's important. Like look on eBay, look on your Facebook marketplaces, look on if you're in Canada, places that look on Kijiji. I'm not sure if that's in the United States or not, or the
Yeah.
UK. Look at places like that, and it's important to see stuff. My dad is a master of finding this stuff, man. Like I'm always contacting my dad. Me would be talking, and I'd be like, "Oh, I just found this movie for like you got Cruel Britannia, like just came out, right? Like that set for an awesome price."
Nice.
But he's really good at finding stuff like that. Yeah, we talked earlier, Alan, about the Chucky series. I'm so sad about that. I
It's
want more
sad, isn't it?
Jennifer Tillingham.
I'm just glad we got three. I'm just glad we got three seasons of it, though. 3 seasons is better than just getting one, which I thought we were originally going to get.
Because it's good. It started okay for me, but it just kind of amped up when it took chances and got weirder. Is when I started to like it a bit more. I think.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Especially with TV.
You have to. I mean, especially now. I think we really do have to now. Now we've gotten how many frigging seasons of slasher, and we got 3 seasons.
Isn't it like?
Not good, but I watch it.
So there's what 5, 6 seasons of slashers, and how many are actually on Blu-ray? 2, isn't it? No, because Shudder released one on Blu-ray as well.
Did they? Because the thing. Well, here's the thing. See, Slasher was owned initially by another company, and then it went over to Netflix. And when it went over
Shudder
to Netflix, when it went over to Netflix, no physical releases. So the first one came out, I think Scream Factory put it right because I got it over there, I think.
Yeah.
And then I think it was like Netflix for a while, and now it's Shudder because AMC actually bought it out, and that's the last couple of seasons I've been on AMC.
I can't remember what it is. It's the one with the faces on the wall that has the Blu-ray.
Oh, is that the one with David Cronenberg?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, that's not a bad season.
I've not seen that season yet. Because after that was Jack the Ripper, wasn't it? The next one.
I haven't seen the Jack the Ripper. Yes, I did. I saw the first episode of Jack the Ripper one. I was like, I'll get back to it, but it didn't exactly like intrigue me in the way that I wanted to. Now, there's an actress in Slash in the Slasher series that I have a super crush on. I adore. So I follow anything that she does.
Mate says the video Aaron and I did will indulge in a more budget-conscious movie collecting.
It is. That's true. It's going to be an interesting one. It's a longer one too. And that's coming on this month as well. That'll be on mid to late October. I'm trying to space them out. It is. It's like it is more important than ever right now with the way prices are going to be able to curate what you get. And I really think that in a lot of cases, it's just watching the fact that there is YouTube and that it's a lot of the stuff that you're watching are people that you feel like, okay, I can, if they can do this, then I can do this. Because it's not like when you're watching like a TV show or like on like on a TV channel, we're like, oh,
Yeah,
Sister Ebert, like they get to go to the movies or something like that. But when you see somebody doing it like right now from my own house and that type of thing, there's a bit more of like, okay, he's like me,
yeah.
that you have to
I get really jealous. I get really jealous. I look at George's pictures of his
George does
movies,
amazing
and
stuff,
I
man.
get so jealous. I'm like, I could never collect like that.
He has some like his film vault releases.
Yeah.
Man, I almost picked up that Goodfellas steelbook,
Oh,
but
the
actually,
Steelbook one. I loved when you tried to explain it. Go, yeah, I think that's Goodfellas. I was like, you can tell by the cover, can't you? Because
I
the
wasn't sure.
font. You can.
I
You
was
should
like,
know by
huh.
the picture.
I was walking around Spain all day. It was hot.
No, it's Ghost. It's supposed to be Aaron Penn, movie man.
Oh, Aaron, movie
But
man, the Aaron Penn.
I will
At the
say this
time,
about Darth Sidious: he is very what's the word? Very careful with his money, and he's also very good at finding these deals. I mean, he gets a lot of DVDs for like 50 cents.
it's important.
And let's be honest, 50 cents for DVD is a bargain. And to be honest with you, DVDs aren't that bad quality. I think there's this whole thing now where we're so used to hearing about this whole, if you're a purist of cinema, you want the best quality. And then I do agree on that on certain releases, like, if it's a really fuzzy, horrible print, like on some of those 50 packs, and then you get a really nice version. I do agree with that. But I don't think on the average DVD it really
Like
matters too
Catholic
much. It's
Church,
about
right?
the film. What's that?
It does. I get
Yeah.
film over format.
Always
Not
thinking,
does.
I can't believe you come out with that, and it's like this new thing that's just going to stick on the
It,
channel.
I hope. I think it's catchy, guys. Is it catchy?
You need to
Did
start. You
anybody
need to
here buy film
start.
over
You need
format?
to start on those shirts before someone else copyrights it.
Yes, I'm worried about actually. But yeah,
Because I'm actually working on it right now.
Home Sales because rad for television. I actually agree with that. Gleaming. But the only printed 2,500 limited edition. I think that's not a bad amount for like a company like Television. To be honest with you, like Maddie
I agree.
thrifts. Like Maddie in the chat, Maddie's is good at thrifting, going to like stores and finding stuff because he lives in an area where you're able to do that. And if you're in a place where you can actually
Oh,
go
you're
to
blessed if you can do that.
oh my god, yes. Like, do you still have like boot sales over there?
We do, but I don't have any near me, annoyingly.
Because like, hopefully, I'm hoping next year sometime to get to London so we get to hang out and we'll
Yeah, me
take
and
some photos.
Aaron, we're going to hang out, right? I'm kidding you not. We're going to meet up. We're going to hang out. And we're going to get in trouble. We're going to get arrested. We're going to streak down the road. We're going to do all this stuff. And you're going to see, like, zoom-ins of him's face looking absolutely, like, shocked.
But it's true. I mean, like I've got like Super 8 films in my collection of like some like classic Lauren Hardy stuff and Charlie Chaplin and
Yeah.
Asterix cartoons, stuff like that. Which is wonderful to have.
To go on what you said about Matty, I see when Matty posts the films he watches, like every week.
Yeah.
And I look at them and I go to myself, I like how there's a mixture of like Blu-ray, multi-packs, and how they just, it's a nice range. I like when people are watching different kinds of cinema in a week. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's such a great, what's the word? Like, great consistency of different cinema. Because I do feel like so many people sometimes can get stuck into one genre quite regularly. And I think that's brilliant.
It is. And one of the really cool things is you'll see like Maddie will show some stuff out sometimes that just isn't on Blu-ray, isn't on 4K, that he's lucked into. And I'm just like super jealous with certain titles. There's one title, I won't mention it here, but it's on the video. So make sure to watch that video, guys.
Is it Debbie Does Dallas, the first one? Because I know it's all over that.
Obviously, that's the one.
When are they going to release Fist of PTA on bloody Blu-ray? I want that movie.
Mark was
They are to get most. Well,
Yeah, very. Is it really? I didn't know actually.
yeah, but that's probably the UK version.
Well, there is only like one. Like it is. Well, of course, there's only one version of
But it
film.
can't be because it had Spanish writing on it.
On the like, it's still the like certain ones get sent out to the certain places. It's still the it actually is a film vault. This isn't the gray market thing. This actually was film vault. But they would like that's the same as like if you get a release in Canada. Oftentimes, no matter what the company is, you're going to see like French and English on there because it's obligated by our country.
Yeah, but what
do
I'm
that. You
saying
hate that.
is, I know that, but what I'm saying is, the Spanish title wasn't on the English version of it. That's what I'm saying. It's probably it's the same disc, but it's
Oh, it's
different
within
packaging.
I think it's within the same count. I don't think like there's like whatever it was. I'm not sure how much the steelbook's limited to. I'm not sure if are the steelbooks limited. I'm guessing they are.
They probably are.
But whatever the count is, that's the count across. Not like a count for like, okay, this is the English steelbooks. This is how many steelbooks go, period. So if they take some of those and they send some of those to Spain or Germany, wherever they send them, then that's cutting into your whatever that quota, that amount is.
You're welcome,
Hey,
man.
Cinema Tech, welcome, man.
Cinema Tech, where have you been? We're near the end almost. There's only like 14 minutes left.
There is, yeah, because like this is restream and it's very, very careful when it comes to it. And it's been a good video. I think it's been a good video. Hopefully you guys have liked it. We've had some interesting conversation. I had some hot takes, especially at the beginning of you had some hot takes, and I had some not so hot takes, like Fair.com sucks ass. Some very cool. Not much for you this month besides Forgotten Jolly, but Forgotten Jolly is a good one. Like if that's the one that's your only one, that's a damn good one.
I will say the covers are beautiful on those, on the actual discs.
They are. I know I'm not a Tenet person. Like I'm gonna be honest. But I know that there's people like those are gonna massively like.
Yeah, I should stop pointing down Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, totally.
That was a good movie. That's the symbolism. That's the symbolization of cinema. He said that film need to be seen in the cinema.
I saw that movie in cinema because for those that don't know, I actually got into 4K because of Christopher Nolan. Because my better half's a massive. My better half's a massive Christopher Nolan and Stanley Kubrick fan, and at the time that we got a 4K TV, and it was an Xbox One at the time that played 4Ks. Christopher Nolan's movies were just coming out on 4K, and that made her more excited to get it. So it was like Black Friday, and we're at Best Buy because they're selling media at the time, right? And she is going around, is grabbing every Christopher Nolan 4K she can find. She's got the Batman trilogy. She's got like she's got them all, right? Inception's there. I'm not joking. She's a massive fan of that. My dad got her 2001 4K for Christmas one year, the special edition.
Stanley Kubrick, I get. Christopher Nolan, I'm a bit.
Really?
For the most part, yeah. I like Batman Begins. I think The Dark Knight's overrated because Heath Ledger died. I think Dark Knight Rises was a pain in the ass to watch. Inception, I felt, was just tedium over and over and over again. Tenet I've owned on 4K since it came out and never watched it. What's some of the others? He did Memento, didn't he?
Yeah, Memento's really good.
Yeah, I didn't mind that one, even though I prefer the Chinese remake called what's it called? Naked Poison Toe. I preferred that, which was the Chinese version. Was it that? No, it wasn't that, was it? Yeah, it was that. What else did he do?
Prestige. He did Prestige.
He did Prestige, which was decent. I like that one.
Interstellar's my least favorite.
Interstellar's a joke. That's awful. What's the other one? There's another one, isn't there?
I like that one more than that, but she likes more sci-fi more than I do.
But yeah,
there you go. George telling you, man.
Well, you're wrong. I'm sorry, George, but you're wrong. You know,
you're lucky.
I often feel
not here because she would be coming. You know, him would be coming from the camera.
Yeah, and I'd have to put him in our place. I'd have to say, Hind, in this case, I have to put you in your place instead. You put me in my place. All right.
Just,
Even though I won't get
this
working
is,
because she'd be
this
tearing me
is,
straight, wouldn't she?
she is. There's the thing. She's smarter than us both.
Oh yeah.
She so is. It's not even a. Not even a.
I have a strong dislike for Christopher Nolan because I feel like it's a big conversation. I'll have that conversation on another stream sometime.
Dunkirk is amazing.
Because
I love Dunkirk. That is one of my favorites, and one of my the ones I didn't think I was gonna like, Darth Sidious, that I've probably rewatched
it was well shot.
probably
I
even
will
more
say
than
this: Dunkirk
Inception.
was well shot.
I just
Definitely,
the way that was done.
yeah. Dunkirk was good.
It's one of the
No, no
it's
need to have David Sterling for his next one. Imagine what trash that would be.
oh my god, can you
Imagine that
imagine? Like,
Camp Blood with
oh my, I was
Christopher
just
Nolan.
thinking that. That'd be amazing. You know what? It would have a time travel aspect to it because Chris Nolan's obsessed with time, right? His films, there's always some kind of time aspect to his films. The
I didn't
fact that
watch
they did like
Paprika,
that
Alan.
with them running backwards, and they didn't
Yeah.
like move the film back. He actually had them move backwards is insane, and
Yeah.
just like only him, man.
When they announced that Christopher Nolan might do the next Bond movie, I cringed.
I'll say that would be amazing because we
Thought that
know
was
that
long.
we have seen the worst Bond film, and I think that's ever going to be made. It was called Quantum of Solace. I don't.
I would
And
have said it was the last one, to be honest. I thought that was far worse.
oh, no, see, no, that one's still. I wasn't a massive fan of the last one, but it still it still seemed like Bond.
Yeah.
Quantum of Solace
I know
is
it
like
didn't. What are you on about? It didn't seem like Bond at all.
it did. Like he's still Bond. He's still the character of Bond. Like whether he what happens because I'm sure he wanted a definitive ending.
Yeah.
And I think that the character it was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't something I'm going to go back and rewatch. I know that the ending is supposed to be super effective. It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Um,
I forgot about
but
Oppenheimer. I haven't seen it yet. I've got the 4K, but I forgot that even came out.
yeah, I actually haven't watched Oppenheimer yet either. I've seen like a little bit of it, but I never got the chance to like sit and watch it all. Here it's great.
Dunkirk is really good. I'm going to agree on that. When I watched that, I didn't realize it was Christopher Nolan movie.
I'm actually
really
watching
liked it.
this actually next day or two. Actually, did you? Oh, quick thing. AEW got a deal. Did you hear
Who
that?
with? Who with?
Warner Brothers. Of course, Warner Brothers
Ooh.
Discovery. Rumor is that like Warner Brothers Discovery actually has a little piece of AEW.
Oh no! Oh,
So starting January, also Collision and AEW Dynamite will be streaming on Max,
oh, nice.
and their pay-per-views are going to be there with the discounted rate. Apparently, Tony Khan wanted to do the pay-per-views the same as are being done on Peacock, where it's just like free, like streaming on the channel. Warner Brothers said that ain't going to make that
makes no sense for them, does it? Because they want to make money from it.
Exactly, but that is going to be at a mass, apparently at a big discounted rate. So it's no longer going to be like a $60.
Well, that's good for people. That's good for people in America, but it ain't going to help me, is it?
Well, we'll see. We'll see where that leads them for over there. For us right now, let's be honest, we get to see it anyway. But it'll be interesting to see where it goes. I have to check something real quick.
Insomnia.
Insomnia is really good. I like Insomnia a lot. I know it's a remake of another film.
You thought For Your Eyes Only was pretty boring. For Closed Eyes Only.
For Your Eyes Only is like For Your Eyes Only is the Friday the 13th 4 of James Bond, in that it takes like all the cool stuff from the other films.
Yeah,
just puts it in there. Being fair, like to Maddie, it's a pretty like the villain from For Your Eyes Only isn't great.
Oh, the villain's boring. Yeah, I agree with that one.
But the action set pieces and the women in For Your Eyes Only are amazing.
And anyway, you can't say For Your Eyes Only. You have to go For Your Eyes Only. That's how you're supposed to say it.
My mother-in-law had her birthday recently, and we had to go on like on WhatsApp, FaceTime, basically.
Whoa!
Like sing Happy Birthday, and like Hin's like, you're not singing, and I'm like, there's a reason for that.
Oh, what? You need to sing.
It comes like for me, it's just Happy Birthday to you. Happy.
Dub City says Oppenheimer is easily 4 out of 5. Great film. Honestly, surprised you didn't see it in the hype. No, I'm going to tell you something, Dub City. Yes.
That's not Barbie.
I don't believe
Barbie.
in that. I don't believe in hype. I never have done. I believe that most people that believe in hype end up being disappointed or have over.
Are you going to become one of these film club guys?
Or have one of these overexcited views or something because other people feel that way, and that's why I never
You sound
watched
like
in
those
hype.
guys. Well, you sound like those guys. I don't. I know everybody else is going to.
Yes, because
I'm not into the hype.
it's like one of those wrestling promos. Remember, because I'm better than you. You remember that promo?
MJF.
Who would you say that? Who used to say that?
MJF.
Was it MJF?
Yeah, that's his thing.
Yeah.
That's like, what's his name? Who said,
It's about Johnny English. That's the best Bond movie ever, the first one. Johnny English. I love Johnny English.
I hear stuff. And there's some great, and there's some stuff in Oppenheimer you're gonna like, man. Just gonna say, just putting that out there. There's gonna be some scenes in Oppenheimer.
Yeah. Do they put VHSs in, and that's why it sets me off?
That's where you're gonna love it.
Hey, Shell Mason in the house.
Aloha.
I'll be honest with you. Most of the films I see this year in the cinema is because Alex says, "Do you want to go to the cinema watch this movie?" I go, "Yeah, go on then." Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have seen them in the cinema.
I don't get to see as much as I want to in cinema. Like, obviously, for me right now, where I'm in Morocco, it's really hard. Now, December, we have the film festival here, so I'll be going to see a lot of stuff there.
Ooh.
So
Adam's going to be recording himself walking on the red carpet, shaking hands with people like Bonanza style.
Gleaming calling you up, man. You don't believe
in your collection says, what do you mean my collection says otherwise? This came out in the 80s. That's that hype.
Are you not subscribed to Vinegar Syndrome?
Yeah, but they're all old films. They're all old films.
Are you going to subscribe?
What, to Vinegar Syndrome?
Yeah, this year. When the
Probably.
Or January. I mean, it's January now, right?
Probably will. It depends on what it says in their subscription thing. If it says more Asian cinema, I probably will. Radiance, I will resubscribe to.
Did you like the Ultimate Cut? I'm actually curious because it surprised the hell out of me how much I liked it.
Before we go, and we're waiting for that response, I got a new release that came today from Treasured Films. And that was You Might Be the Killer.
I love that movie, actually. It's so funny.
It was one of their but it's one of their subscription titles.
Oh yeah, so, it's really.
Yeah, we'll show that quickly.
It is such a cool film.
Malcolm only believes in hype when it's coming in a slipcover. See, I'm being attacked.
Like, I got Cinematheque. We're like less than 2 months away before this ends. Let us know what you thought. Click down.
I'm being attacked.
Casino Royale. Casino Royale was like, yeah. I own it, but it's not a great one.
Yeah, it's not good at all.
I actually got it for the Jimmy Bond, like the American, like.
You're thinking Never Say Never, right, Alan? That one wasn't that good. As a remake for Thunderball, that wasn't that great, but it wasn't bad.
Ultimate Cut's a whole different experience. It actually brings out the performances. It really, really does. It's the best version. With that being said, guys, we're hit that time again. I want to thank Malcolm. I want to thank you guys for coming in. And it's been a blast. I will see you guys next time right